Joining us now, coaching the guys that are going to block for the running backs. One of our favorites. He's an instant classic.
Yeah.
Ryan Pugh back in Studio B. Ryan, welcome back, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, let's start with this. You had a baby during spring football, and you still coached that day. What was that like?
Thankfully, my wife didn't really know what was going on when I went to practice. She was still kind of asleep, and no, it was hectic, but a lot of fun. You know, it puts life into perspective when you have kids. Everything revolves around football in our life, and so I gave my wife a hard time because I did miss one practice, first practice I've ever missed in my life, and yeah, I couldn't miss two, so we had to be there. I had to be there at practice the next day. I was running on fumes, but it was good.
It took a baby for you to miss a practice.
Yeah, I wouldn't have missed it for anything else, though. It was good.
Was it a prerequisite when you met your wife that she love football? Is she like in on it? Like,
Oh yeah, she loves.
Is she an Auburn gal?
She is. She graduated from Auburn. So both of us going to school there. Obviously, huge football fan. Her grandfather was a college football coach at University of Central Arkansas in the 50s and 60s, and so athletics. She's familiar with it. She knew that we'd be moving across the country. She gave me a list of states. I missed all of them by 1,000 miles with our first kid, so I'm definitely trying to make up for it now. But we've enjoyed Utah so far, and living here in and around Provo, and just the people. It's been great.
How have you changed as a coach since you came to BYU?
I wouldn't necessarily say that I've changed in any regard. I think I've become a better coach. I think I've developed more, being around our staff, from Coach Satake down, our offensive staff. We work well together. Our players here do a great job of challenging us to be better coaches each day. We're gonna raise the bar for them, make them feel uncomfortable, so that we can demand growth from them and they can improve. But at the same, we ask this for that in return from them, and I think they do a great job of asking great questions, understanding our scheme, trying to be a better football player and a better person off the field each and every day. And so that's what we want to do most. But as far as being a different coach, I think being a better coach here, challenging me to continue to be open-minded, to learn and grow each and every day as an offensive line coach is something that BYU's provided for me.
From last year's team to this, some experience was lost in the central interior of the offensive line, and Tijon Chrome at center, and Tuni Kanuch and Kean Norman in the guards. Who's competing at those positions?
Well, we're always going to play the best five guys, regardless of position, whether they've ever played center or they've ever played guard or tackle, whatever that may be. We're going to play the best five offensive linemen. We're going to find out who those guys are really quickly. We'll find out who the next five are. And so even if you're number 6 and somebody gets hurt in a game, we're going to put the next best player in the game. We're not going to necessarily just only play left guard. You know, I believe in cross-training guys. I believe in having them learn overall scheme, understand techniques that you're going to have to use to play every position. Are there some players that we're going to move less, that we're going to move more? Absolutely. Are there going to be guys who have settled in at one spot or the other? Yes. But even if you just play tackle, you need to know how to play right and left tackle. You need to know how to play multiple positions. But in an effort to get the best five guys on the field, it's going to require some musical chairs at times. And I don't think if anyone has looked at where I've coached and then where Jeff Grimes has coached, we're not afraid to change the lineup up front. And I think that you have to build the cohesion throughout your group from top to bottom in your room. And so a lot of developing chemistry amongst the five guys in the game. Some people can say, well, if you keep moving guys around, you can't build that cohesion. You can't build that unique bond that you have to have with the offensive line. And that is true somewhat, but you have to do that each and every day with your group. And so I think that's our focus is developing our group from top to bottom, making the coaching to your worst player just like he's your best. And so making each guy better so that you can play the best five guys.
Ryan Pugh, BYU football offensive line coach, with us on BYU Sports Nation. It is 2018 Media Day. If there's a guy that understands the grind of facing and playing against a Power 5 schedule, it's you. You did it week in and week out in the SEC. BYU, in a lot of ways, is tackling a schedule like what you saw, and particularly on the road. What's the key to getting through a grueling schedule like this?
I think it's all in mentality. The one thing we can control each day is our attitude and our effort in which we go to work with as a staff, and then as a player and as a group offensively, we can control our energy. I think attacking each day with a positive energy and an outlook to get better each and every day is what you have to start with. I don't think you can look at the schedule as a whole and say, well, it's the toughest in the country, it's the weakest in the country. You have this game. I think you have to look at you have a 12-game season. It starts with Arizona September 1st in Tucson. That's what we're focused on most. It doesn't matter who we play after that. We've got to be ready to play Arizona week 1. We will be as an offense and as an offensive line especially. But you have to enjoy and embrace the competition. You want to be the best. You have to beat the best. You've got to play the best. And obviously, having experience coming from the Southeastern Conference as a player and a coach, that's going to allow us to coach our players better for the schedule that we have in front of us. But even regardless of just the Power 5 schools, we have great schedule this season. All the teams on our schedule. You can't just say, well, we better be ready to play these 4 games or these 5 games. Well, we better be ready to play each and every week. And that's what I think a lot of people having not had experience in the SEC, they don't understand that grind, like you talked about, it's each and every week. Anybody can beat anyone on any given day. In college football, there's more parity than there's ever been from top to bottom. And some people might want to disagree with that, but I think that as a whole, you have to be focused each and every week to have success, and you can't overlook anyone on your schedule. And so for us to say that we got to win these games, we got to win week 1 at September 1st at Arizona, and that's our focus.
Were you a more intense player, or are you a more intense coach now?
Probably about the same. I was pretty intense as a player in a different regard. I was intense with myself, so to speak. I mean, I was not a very vocal player. I was more of a guy who tried to lead by example, trying to establish what it's like to work hard, enjoy, bring energy. As a coach, I like to think I'm intense, but at the same time, a coach, as an offensive line coach or any football coach, we're teachers. And so if I'm not teaching the game of football, that's what I do. That's what I want to be great at, is a great teacher. And along with that comes intensity, but I think that's more personality rubbing off on our players. And hopefully they're able to play with the passion in which I coach with and that I played with when I was a player.
What's your go-to phrase to motivate your guys?
That you can say on the air.
Wow.
There are too many to think of.
I mean, I don't know if I have a go-to.
I think we need to ask them.
Well, you can ask my players, yes. I'm pretty sure they have a running list of one-liners. I have a long list of those that are, obviously we could say a few of them on the air, others that we say short, quick prayers after. And so, but we like to have fun. Again, our group, I think that this game of football is meant to be played having fun. Obviously, winning makes it more fun.
Yes.
But the relationships you develop, having fun as a group, being able to play and have success, that's what the game's about. So I'm intense, and my guys know when it's time to have fun and when it's time to learn and when it's time to work and those things. And so we have a unique relationship and a mutual respect in that sense.
Now, I know that in the future, at some point, you're going to get some questions and you're going to flip the script on us and ask us questions. I've seen a few come in since this interview started. So
Nice.
You can go look at those, and then we'll scoot that to the next time we get together.
Periscope or Instagram or Facebook or something. Let's do it.
Okay. I'm down for whatever. I don't sit with my computer in front of me. I'm just here
Oh,
doing
you don't?
this off the cuff. This is improv on my part. I'm
Yeah, let's
just trying
go.
to be the best me today on Sports Nation.
We don't have a computer. Oh, wait. I'm told we got to go. Coming up, Fred
Ryan.
Warner